Yo. Welcome back. How y'all feeling? I see your money, G. I see your way. I see your money, G. I see your way. What's up? What's goody? How y'all feeling in Hood to Hooded podcast lane? This is Dr. Shon, aka Dr. Cheat the Sunflower, back with another video. No excuses, just discipline, baby. This is day 15 of me showing up consistently. Honestly, guys, I did not want to show up today. I am here because I am on a mission to just get consistency embedded into my DNA. That's why we show up here every night and we push the Hood to Hooded Consistency Project. When you have a decision to be consistent, it stops being about your feelings. You show up because you said you would. You show up because this is something you really want to do. People quit on their dreams not because they're not talented. They quit because they just don't feel like doing it no more. They're tired. Life be lifing. The energy be low. But the consistency doesn't care about none of that. It reminds me of being in dental school. If you didn't show up, somebody else is right there to take your spot. If this is something that you want, whatever your dream is or your goal is tonight, you got to knock it out the ballpark without any excuses. Consistency over feelings. I show up exhausted, raw, but ready. I'm ready for the night. I'm ready for the stream because that's how winners move. Like, we don't make excuses. My Niji, no excuses are allowed. If you're tired, you're not alone. If you ever doubted your pace, you are not alone. I feel you, but we got to show up anyways. The day that you show up might be the day that you change your life. Tonight, we are diving into our first segment, which is finalizing the chapters of Eat That Frog. We've been trying to tackle procrastination because I know I'm not the only one who deal with procrastinating about life, because life be lifing. You can get into the lazy mode and excuseville lane real quickly. And we try to stay out of that lane. I am here to help us elevate and stay on track when it comes to living our best life. We are on the last two chapters, guys. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you can catch the replays on the Hood to the Podcast, which is on all podcast platforms. Chapter 20 and 21. This book has been so powerful, and I'm so excited to be done with it. Chapter 20 is one of the most important chapters we will cover, and it's talking about developing that sense of urgency when it comes to your dreams. Like, how many of us procrastinate when we know we should be doing something and we don't have the sense of urgency? We just go day after day thinking that we'll get it done tomorrow. We'll get it done tomorrow. Who else is out there like that? In this chapter, it's just talking about action being everything. There is no perfect time to do something. If you're waiting on the perfect time to make your dreams come to life, you're going to be waiting forever because there just isn't a perfect time. One of the most outwardly identifiable qualities of somebody who is a high-performing man or woman is being action-oriented. They hurry to get their tasks or their key tasks done first. First, they think about what they need to do. Second, they plan it, and then they set priorities. We all about setting priorities and knocking out our major tasks quickly. Launch quick towards your goals and objectives. I agree with that. When you move quickly, you build momentum and enter a flow. That's the sweet spot where time disappears and everything just clicks. Compare this like a high-performing person. They're going to go into action quick. But the average person is going to socialize. You already know they're going to waste a lot of time and do a lot of low-value activities like watching your favorite TV show. Yes, that's okay sometimes. But if you have a goal, you don't have time to watch TV. Getting into the flow. When you get into the flow of things, I call this the CDP formula. You're going to have consistency, discipline, minus procrastination, and it's going to equal like a glow up for you. The state of flow is the highest state of performance or productivity. It leaves you feeling elated, clear about everything, and it will be effortless. You'll end up being happy, energized, more sensitive, and aware of your goals when you get into this flow because you're being disciplined. And you will have higher insight and intuition to guide you to do the right thing. We all can use a little bit more discipline. And I'm totally against procrastination. That has been one of my weaknesses since I was young. But I still managed to get a doctoral degree. It wasn't easy. Trigger high performance in yourself. The way that you trigger a state of flow and develop a sense of urgency, it will be like from your inner drive or your desire. What do you have a desire to do? Because we are all in competition with ourselves. A lot of people think they're in competition with other people, but the real competition is in ourselves. It's all internal. I know that the internet and social media have you thinking that we competing with people, but it's all inside of ourselves. Build up a sense of momentum. Momentum principle of success. When you take continuous actions towards your most important goal. Think about your most important goal right now. Are you taking action on that? I always mention dental school because dental school is one of those things where you have to sacrifice everything. Your weekends, your nights, your mornings. You sacrifice everything. Those are high performance situations in dental school, right? Once we get into dental school, it's like it's non-stop for 4 years. If you slack off, you fail out, and then your dream is over. You have to have a tremendous energy to start. You need inertia. You got to get over the inertia, like that tremendous energy that you need to start on your goal. It takes less if you just keep going and you keep that momentum. The moment you stop, the moment you get distracted, you may have a relationship that's distracting you. You might have some family issues that might be distracting you. You can have so many distractions, financial distractions, mental health distractions. Whatever it is that's distracting you is going to take you off the path from your goal, right? But imagine if you could stay positive and stay on route to your goal, tune out all the extra noise and the distractions. You get more done. You're going to have more energy. You're going to learn more, have more experiences, and be more competent and capable. It's all in your head. We talk ourselves out of doing things every single day. But we have to get out of that and just take action. And people will talk you out of doing things every day too. When I wanted to open up motivational dentistry, dental practice, people try to talk me out of doing it all the time. They put a lot of doubt in your head. How you going to find patients? What you going to do to find money? And how you going to do this? Just do it. Do it now. In this chapter, it says, do it now. The simplest way to get yourself started is to repeat this phrase. Do it now. Do it now. When you wake up and you don't feel like doing it, your biggest task, just say, I'm going to do it now. I got to do it now. Don't wait. When I wanted this practice open, I did it now. I didn't wait. I started looking for the building immediately. Found a building, met with the realtor immediately. Started talking about the pricing and the equipment and all of these different things. You got to do it now, because if you wait, people will doubt you out of your dreams because they don't believe in themselves. Have you found that people who don't even dream, don't have any goals, don't know what the future holds, are always the ones trying to talk you out of your dreams and goals? Yeah, you got to stay away from those type of people. Whenever you feel like you slowing down or you feel the spirit of procrastination like pulling you back towards being lazy, you got to say back to work. It's saying say back to work. Let's get back to work. Let's get back to work and do it and knock it out. That's what we got to do. And that's all that chapter is talking about, is just being in alignment with yourself, having a sense of urgency, and doing what you need to do to knock out your goals. Do it now. Moving on to the last chapter of the book. It says handle every task. We've been talking about this for the whole book. Selecting your most important task and starting on that task and not finishing until it's done. Because if you do anything that's of a less value, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. Begin and complete it 100%. By concentrating single-mindedly reduces the time required to complete your task by 50% or more. I am guilty of this. I have to sit down and do dental claims, right? It's something that I absolutely dread doing. This is why I went out of the network with insurance, because it's like you do the work and then you have all this paperwork left, and I don't like that. I got out of network, but I would sit down, not like doing it, do a couple, come back to it, and what happens is the tendency to start, stop, pick it up, put it back down increases your time to complete the task by 500%. That's crazy, because you have to overcome the inertia again. You have to develop that momentum that we talked about. Get back into your productive flow, and that takes time and energy. And It's better just to knock out your goals and do it completely. Don't waste time. Once you decide your number one task, anything else is a waste of time. The more work you do on high value tasks develops an efficiency curve. So you become more intelligent and more efficient at the task when you work on it consistently and you do it until it's done. Again, each time you break that cycle, you got to start back over. Now, for the last segment of this chapter, before we end our reading of Eat That Frog, is talking about self-discipline is the key. Me showing up here on Twitch every night, guys, it's truly like self-discipline. Every night, I'm like, dang, I don't want to quit, though, because I've already started. I have this momentum going, so every day I'm going to show up for 365 days regardless. But it's that self-discipline that I'm embedding into my mind. It's the consistency that I know I lack. I have the knowledge, I have the degrees, but I don't have consistency. So that don't mean nothing if you have all these things and you can't be consistent. You can't show up for yourself. And I know I did it before because I did it in dental school. But can we do this consistently every day? All right? When you have self-discipline, this is the ability to make yourself do what you should do. Let's start it over, guys. I want y'all to really get this. Self-discipline is the ability to make yourself do what you should do when you should do it, whether you feel like it or not. If I know that we're trying to be consistent and part of consistency is just showing up, then I know I should do it. So every night when I feel like, dang, I don't want to do it because it's so much easier to just lay down. It's so much easier to get cozy in my cover and snuggle up. It's so much easier to watch my favorite TV show and eat something good and be lazy. That's easy, but it's not what I should do when I have a goal. If I know I have a goal to be consistency, then I just got to show up. If I don't feel like it, I just got to do what I got to do. In dental school, you study all day, all night. And yeah, you don't want to do it all the time, but you must do this. These are the requirements. Whatever is a requirement in your life to get to your goals, just do it. Success in any area requires tons of discipline. If we don't take nothing else from this book about procrastination, success in any area requires tons of discipline. It didn't say a little bit of discipline. It requires tons of discipline. The building blocks of character and high performance. If you want to be a high performer, if you want to elevate past like that hood to hooded mindset, I came from the hood, right? If I know I didn't want to be in the hood forever, I must work on my character. I must work on being a high performer. These aren't skills that I learned in the household. Nobody ain't walking around talking about, hey, we're going to work on your self-discipline today. Like, just be honest. We grow up, get out of the house, and then it's to the workforce, and every child, woman, man for themselves when you come from poverty. I just had a different mindset. I say, I'm not going to fall for that. I really want to be a doctor. I need self-discipline, self-mastery, self-control, okay? Self-discipline, self-mastery, and self-control. This is something that people aren't just going to hand to you. These are things and skills that you have to go out and get for yourself without making no excuses or complaining about it. What is persistence? Persistence is self-discipline in action. When you have persistence on your goals, guess what happens? You feel better. You have more self-esteem. You have more self-respect. And guess what you become? A superior person in your eyes. Because remember, we are our own competition. Nobody else is your competition. You are your own competition. Whatever you want in this life, go out and get it. You're your own competition. Believe that. I want to know, after you go back, if you listen to the podcast or if you just joining in, this book had 21 principles, right? And I'm going to just read them out really quickly. And I want you to think about which principle hits hardest for you. Number 1, set the table. This means make your goals clear. Number 2, plan every day in advance. Number 3, apply the 80-20 rule. So always concentrate your effort on the top 20%. Number 4, consider the consequences if you don't do what you're supposed to do. Number 5, practice creative procrastination, meaning procrastinate on low value shit. Number 6, use the ABCDE method. This is like putting A next to your top priority task for the day, and B next to not priority, C, D, delegate, and E, eliminate. Number 7, focus on your key result areas. If you have a skill that you lack on that is a weakness, like me, consistency, focus on that. Number 8, apply the law of 3. Identify the 3 things you do in your work that account for 90% of your contribution and do that. Number 9, prepare thoroughly before you begin. Number 10, take it one oil barrel at a time. That means just one step at a time. Number 11, upgrade your key skills, meaning be a lifelong learner. If you're watching the Hooded podcast or if you're following along, then this is upgrading your key skills. Number 12, identify your key constraints. What is holding you back from your goals? What is that one thing that is constraining you from completing your goals? Number 13, put pressure on yourself. Number 14, motivate yourself into action. 15, technology is a terrible master. Meaning that don't let technology control you. Don't spend 6 hours strolling when you could be doing 6 hours of posting videos, creating a business, starting a YouTube channel, reading a book. 16, technology is a wonderful servant. Learn how to use technology. Like, I use AI a lot in dentistry. Even with my podcast, I use a lot of technology, but it doesn't control me. Number 17, focus your attention. Stop the interruptions, stop the distractions, and get back focused. Number 18, slice and dice the task. Number 19, create large chunks of time so that you can work on your important tasks. Number 20, develop a sense of urgency, which is what we just talked about. And number 21, handle every task. We're going to do a mental health and social media check-in on our young adults and even some adults. I found this really interesting article about how teens felt like social media was damaging their mental health. And I want to bring this to the light because I feel like it's the same for all people on what social media is doing to us when we just, like we just read about, don't let technology be your master. You want to be able to control it. This article, Social Media and Mental Health, it says the Surgeon General's report just revealed that nearly 50% of teens think social media is damaging youth mental health. Do y'all agree with that? Do y'all feel like social media is damaging youth mental health? And if so, how? I totally agree with it. I'm very cautious about social media nowadays just because I know it can be toxic. I find myself strolling sometimes. That's why we set timers on our phone and say, hey, you've been strolling for an hour. We need to put limits on these things, but kids don't have those same limits. And if the parents are using the phones as babysitters or just not controlling it, it can damage the youth's mental health because you don't really know what they're watching or who they're engaging with on social media. This article is saying that social media is like sugar for the brain. It's addicting but empty. It's feeding the brain and causing the hormones and the dopamine to be released, but it's not filling us with anything. It's just causing these triggers that keep us strolling, keep us like zombies on the internet. It's addicting. And it says, in comparison, filters, the fear of missing out, peer pressure, it messes with identity, confidence, and a peace of mind. All of this from social media, and this is information coming from the teens. Like, they're worried about their own mental health. All of us need to be aware of this and don't get too wrapped up on other people. Remember, we are our own competition. Don't feel like you're missing out on anything. Don't fall for peer pressure, and know that you are beautiful and strong within your own right. But it does mess with people's identity. Instagram is all about aesthetics and how you look, and people flash money and cars, and you just have to know how to discern that everything you see online is not real, and it is not always how it's seen. People only post the good shit. They don't post the negativity. We want to keep our confidence up, keep our peace of mind by continuing to grow and get more knowledge. There is an emotional detachment. Attention span has been shortened. It is an emotional attachment. We become emotional attached to people on the internet, and then it starts to make us want to judge ourselves, and we get into a shell. And there was even a study that said the attention span is maybe 3 seconds now. So people only have the attention span of 3 seconds. If anybody comes upon this podcast and they stay, that means you have a really good attention span, because normally it's like this, especially for the young folks. And then you see a lot of bullying going on. And then you see young people unaliving themselves because of social media, because they feel like they can't live up to all the beauty standards. I'm going to just be honest. When I was in high school, we didn't have to worry about having the best wig or makeup and all these different things. We just rocked what we had. But nowadays, you got to have the lace front, the right makeup. Everything has to be perfect, especially for social media. I want the young people to know all of that is not necessarily to be great. Your confidence and how you identify yourself and your peace of mind comes from within. I admit it even affects adults too. It definitely affects adults. A lot of adults have stopped learning. They don't even do anything but stroll. They go to work, go home, and stroll. They're not creating. Even if they are in poverty, even if it's like a check-to-check situation, and I come from the hood, it's still not like an urgency to get a different job or to get that degree or to start that business. We're strolling all day, killing our brain cells all freaking day. So let me just say this to every young person, even older people tuning in. You are enough. You don't need to go viral to have value. The likes, the comments, the followers, they don't define your self-worth. What defines your self-worth is what is inside. That's why be optimistic. I came from a place where I didn't have pretty much anything. Started from zero. But guess what? If you keep your mind clear and keep working on your goals, taking action, then you will eventually get there. But if you allow social media to trick you out your spot, then you live with a life of regrets. Just know how valuable you are. You see it across social media. Kids can be mean. I know with this chocolate skin, this melanin that I had, before I realized I was Niji, I was really bullied. Because they teach the kids some kind of way. The Caucasian kids already know to bully you. Even the other melanated kids know that, oh, you're the darkest one, we're going to bully you. That is a part of colonization, to bully us based on our skin. Not knowing melanin is our skin's defense system, baby. Once I learned that, what? I love the skin I'm in. Love it. You can't trick me out my spot. I love it. I love it. We moving right along to our oral hygiene moment. Tonight, we still honing in on oral cancer. It's Oral Cancer Awareness Month. And I found another article that I want us to just hit on real quick. It's about sugary drinks and oral cancer. Oral cancer is on the rise, especially in young people. Researchers found that 23% increased risk of oral cancer in people who regularly drink sugar-sweetened beverages. This is sodas, energy drinks, sweetened iced teas, and even some fruit juices. If you drink a lot of sugar, of course we already know you can get cavities. Of course we already know you can get periodontal disease. But did you know that you can get higher risk of oral cancer just by having too much sugar in your diet, too many sugary drinks? Here are 10 tips to help us stay safe and try to decrease that risk of getting oral cancer, because it's very important. Number 1 is cut back on the sugary drinks. Try water with lemon or fruit infusion. Get more water in your diet. Number 2, you already know, brush and floss daily, especially after acidic or sugary drinks. Don't drink these things like water and then not brush your teeth. Some people, I have patients all the time, they drink so much soda, so much caffeine, and their blood pressure is sky high. And I have to tell them, hey, you have to cut back on the sugary drinks, not only for your blood pressure, because you're going to get cavities. And now we know you can even get oral cancer. Well, an increased risk, we will say. Number 3, floss your teeth every night. Plaque buildup equals higher oral cancer risk. A lot of people don't floss. I tell my patients, if you brush your teeth every day, make sure you do the 2-step, not the 1-step. It's like we got our boots on the ground. We got to do the two-step. It's the same when you're brushing your teeth. You got to brush and floss. Otherwise, you're only doing half of the job. Your teeth don't appreciate that. Going to sleep with chicken between them every night. Guys, we don't want to feed the bacteria. Number 4, get a yearly oral cancer screening from your dentist. This is important because dentists are able to check your lymph nodes and see if you have any swellings and check under your tongue to make sure everything looks good. I've had several patients with oral cancer, and some of them find it a little too late, where you lose part of your throat, you lose your tongue, you lose your ability to speak or eat. A lot happens when you get oral cancer. It impacts every part of your body because you can't eat right, you can't speak right, your confidence goes down the drain, and it is very traumatic. It is a very traumatic disease. Okay? And then number 5, know what canker sores look like, temporary and painful, versus something that's persistent, painless lesion, which is cancer. Yesterday on the pod, we talked about canker sores versus oral cancer. Let me see if I can pull it up for a second. So this is oral cancer and this is a canker sore. Know the difference between canker sore and oral cancer. This is a canker sore, so this is temporary and painful. It goes away within 1 to 2 weeks. But if you get something like this, this is oral cancer that you see on the screen now. This is oral cancer. This is going to be persistent and painless most of the time. Either way, you want to have it checked out. Don't ignore mouth sores that last longer than 2 weeks. Number 7, eat more green and antioxidant-rich foods. These foods are going to protect your oral tissues. A lot more salads. We don't like salads, right? Some smoothies, lots of berries. Just basically health. Health is wealth. Number 8, avoid tobacco in all forms because we know tobacco is one of the key risk factors for oral cancer. If you smoke cigarettes, then you have a really high chance of getting oral cancer. If you do cigarettes plus sugary drinks plus alcohol, you really want to make sure you're checking on yourself every year. Don't even skip. You feel something strange in your mouth, go get it checked out. Number 9, limit alcohol, especially when paired with sugary drinks like cocktails. And number 10, stay hydrated with water, because water is our best friend. Water is our best friend. Water is our best friend. I just want to wrap up this with just having a mental health moment to make sure everybody is at peace with themselves and knowing that self-love is not needing external validation to feel whole. That's key to going from hood to hooded, is realizing how powerful you are within yourself. Even when I was in the hood, crying every night, praying for my mama to come back alive, trying to figure out where my daddy at because he was in the streets, being shipped from house to house, going through custody battles, something deep inside of me there was a desire to be something great. I didn't want to be a CNA like both of my grandparents. I didn't want to have a career where I wouldn't be able to feed myself or to live my best life. I knew early on that if I wanted to do something great, it would require me to be very disciplined and to not make excuses. That's when I learned, hey, it's either do it or be stuck in the hood forever. I want to encourage you guys to love on yourself today and know that you don't need external validations to feel whole. Rock out on your goals. If you can sit with yourself in silence and solitude and still feel like you matter, then you are truly growing. And if anything you're going through in life, just always remember to be patient with your healing. And be kind to your reflection. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful. And that is true. We don't have to be perfect to be powerful, right? When I started this 365-day challenge, I thought I was a little delulu. I was like, am I biting off a little more than I could chew? But I knew that if I could complete 365 days of showing up it is definitely going to change a part of me. I might not show up perfect all the time, guys. The Streamlab might be tripping sometimes. The camera be tripping sometimes. Sometimes I forget that my mic ain't on. I have made so many mistakes in this 15 days. You couldn't believe it. But guess what? Every day, my consistency muscle, what? A little bit stronger, right? We're a little bit stronger. Every time you show up for yourself, you get what? Stronger. It says true success is peace of mind. It's hard to get there when you're chasing people who don't even see you. Stop chasing the people who don't see you and dig into your own self-esteem bag, your own self-respect bag. Today, take a deep breath, and I encourage you to show up for yourself. Show up for yourself every single day. We're not quitters. We don't turn around. Guess what we do, guys? We show up for ourselves every day. We show up for ourselves every day. If nobody ever told you guys today, I'm so proud of you just for even having the mindset to continue to grow every single day. That's major. We just wrapped up our first book on this podcast, Eat That Frog. And we moving on to our next read tomorrow, Never Eat Alone. Now, this is a book about secrets to success in relationships. I feel this is good for this 365-day challenge because, as you guys know, I'm trying to build a community on Twitch that is highly motivated, very intelligent when it comes to the oral hygiene, and a community that knows how important it is for lifelong learning. I love learning. This is Dr. Shon, Dr. Cheapest Sunflower, and brush and floss and hydrate your teeth tonight. And say it with me, guys. I showed up today. That's enough. That is everything.